Okay, boys and girls, I'm back with a video on uh, Liberty Kids. So we're going to look at the episode called The Bostonians, and it's going to focus on John Adams, his wife Abigail, and his son John Quincy. Now, one of the things you know about John Adams, he's one of the founding fathers. He was from Boston. He was a lawyer. He was actually one of the presiding lawyers in the Boston Massacre case, where he actually defended the the British soldiers that fired on the Bostonians. Bostonians is a word for people that live in Boston, just like New Yorkers. You're from New York, you say you're a New Yorker. Well, if you're from Boston, Massachusetts, you're Bostonian. So when I use that word Bostonian, that's a person that lives from Boston or from Boston. So anyway, John Adams, like I said, founding father, he did a lot. He went to both Continental Congresses in Philadelphia. He helped write the Declaration of Independence with Thomas Jefferson. He was a minister to France with Benjamin Franklin. He was a minister to England. He went to the Netherlands to get money to help with the war effort. After the Revolutionary War ended, he actually became the first vice president under George Washington. He became the second president of the United States. And him and his wife Abigail had a very close relationship. Abigail Adams, she and him would often write a lot because he was away from home quite a bit. And John Adams, throughout his travels, became a diplomat. But John Adams, although he was very smart, had a temper and didn't always get along with people. So he's a very interesting character. You should definitely read more about him. And in this video, though, it's going to focus on that family. But you're going to learn about the conflict between the Bostonians and the Iroquois. And you're going to learn about a famous Iroquois called Joseph Brant. Now, you have to pick any 6 questions. I set up the notes differently to kind of help you focus more. Pick any 6 questions, but there are 15 here. And there's something you should read here in the document that I'm not going to read out loud. So make sure you read it because there's some important information there. But pick any 6 that you want. And I also provided timestamps. So I'll give you an example of what I mean by a timestamp. So question 1 asks, what did Congress decide to do with John Adams in the beginning of the story? This timestamp that says 2:30, if you're watching the YouTube video and you'll see the timestamp here, it says 2:03. When you get to 2:30, that's when you want to really start paying attention because you can actually find the answer to the first question. And I put timestamps throughout the entire document, and it goes in order. So like the second question, what advice did Ben Franklin give to John Quincy Adams? At 3 minutes in, exactly, you want to start listening because you'll hear what he says to John Quincy. Why was Abigail especially happy to see John Adams when he returned home? Around 4 minutes in, you want to listen to that. Why was General John Sullivan sent to upstate New York? At 6:50, 6 minutes 50 seconds, you want to start listening to that. Why does John, and you can stop the video as often as you like too. That's what's great about doing that. Why does John Adams get excited? What has he chosen to do? 8:25. And then it goes on. When you type inside these boxes, they expand. So they don't stay this size, so they get larger. 6, why does General John Sullivan's army burn down crops? Do you think this was smart? Why not? So I want your opinion about that if you choose that question. 7, why does John Quincy Adams get annoyed with the other kids? All right, so that's 10 minutes, 10 seconds in. You'll see that. What does Abigail talk to John Adams about? Why is she upset with John? That's 11 minutes, 50 seconds in. 9, why are the Mohawk Iroquois fighting the Boston colonists? What did the Bostonians take away from the Iroquois? That's 14 minutes, 34 seconds in. 10, who was Joseph Brant? Give one fact about him. So around 16 minutes, 30 seconds, you'll hear someone talking about him a little bit, and that lasts for about 2 minutes. And just pick a fact and tell me a little bit about Joseph Brant. 11, what does the young reporter discover about the Iroquois man he has been speaking with for the past, 3 or 4 minutes into the video. Around 19 minutes in, he finds out a big surprise. 12. What advice does Abigail give to John Adams? 19 minutes, 20 seconds in. 13. What does John Adams feel is important for the future of the country? You'll see him writing and talking about something he wrote. Listen carefully to that. There's a lot that he says, so pick something that stands out. 14. What is Henri? He's a young French boy that's in the story, a character, able to do that he couldn't at the beginning of the story. So that's toward the end at 20 minutes, 52 seconds. And then the last question, you're going to focus on John Quincy Adams. How does he change from the beginning to the end of the story? Give examples. So you're going to look at the entire episode and pay attention to that. So remember, you can pick any 6, but there's a special something if you do all of them, but you have to read the document to see what that is. All right, boys and girls, remember, you can reach out to me if you have questions or comments, and I'll see you soon. Bye now.